What is going on, guys? I am Jaye Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure you like this video, click the notification bell, so you can continue to get excellent videos like this one, okay? I want to talk about Cameron Newton, or Cam Newton. He was recently a quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, who have pretty much just released him over the last day or so. Didn't really give him the opportunity to be a free agent, and we're going to get into the real reason why they wanted to get rid of him. There were probably a number of reasons, but these are mine. These are my own, okay? I'm not reading anybody's notes or listening to what other people believe or think, not the overpaid analysts on TV. But I truly feel like the organization believe in Cam Newton. Now, let's go to where Cam was. When he came in, he didn't have much offensively starting off. He did have Steve Smith, but an older one. He had some good running backs, but offensively, he was coming into his own. You got a relatively new head coach, who's more of a defensive coach. So Cam pretty much was learning the basics of being a quarterback on the job, and he did a very good job of that. But when you have a quarterback like Cam, who's physical, who run, you're bound to get hurt. He took a lot of big hits, and there were times when it looked to me that the refs treated Cam like he was a running back. Tom Brady or some of these other quarterbacks would never be hit the way that Cam was, but because he was bigger than even the linebackers, and he took those hits, again, that's his choice to run out of the pocket. So he's going to take those hits. But there were some where it was like, oh, come on, really? I mean, if that was Tom Brady, that'd already be automatically a flag, even just by brushing his shoulder pad. But anyway, I believe one of the main issues with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers is that you have new ownership. Jared Richardson no longer owns the team. He owned the team since their creation in the mid-90s. I think Jared Richardson did a good job. It felt like the ownership made the Carolina Panthers feel like, the team of the Southeast, because, me being from South Carolina, even being here, you still feel a part of the team. It's not the North Carolina Panthers. It's not the Charlotte Panthers. It's the Carolina Panthers. They even hold training camp here in South Carolina. I don't know if they're still going to be doing that. But, Jared Richardson went out of his way as ownership to be as much ingrained in the community. And that was a part of the organization. The organization did that with the coaches, the upper management. And when Cam came in, he was a good fit because of his personality and the fact that the fans would really like him, that he would really fit in. I mean, he's from Georgia. And the Panthers, with Cam, when he started to become a better quarterback up until when they went to the Super Bowl, you saw just how much he was able to grow, how much Ron Rivera was able to grow. And when ownership changed, a lot changed. Cam was hurt. The injuries started to pile up. He just wasn't the same. The smile was gone. It seemed like he wasn't loving football anymore. But again, one of the main issues was ownership. I think the new ownership really didn't have faith in Cam, even the head coach, as they had before. Also, what you have to take into consideration is that there's a new coach, there's a new coaching staff, there's going to be a new culture. You have a college coach coming into the NFL who wants to establish, his own way with his own players. It's very unfortunate that Cam was not able to be in free agency earlier. They were trying to trade him. They wanted to look good. This is one of the mistakes that the Panthers made. They tried to look good in this situation by saying, hey, we're going to allow Cam to seek a trade. Well, you should have been trying to trade him before the start of free agency, and you didn't. Once you got Teddy Bridgewater, And he also signed P.J. Walker from the XFL, a guy who played for Matt Rule in college when he was the head coach at Temple before he went to Baylor. You should have gave him an opportunity. But again, I think fresh starts are needed. I also think one of the major issues is that if you look at the wide receivers that they have, the organization definitely shortchanged Cam Newton. People talk about how Tom Brady over the last, at least I would say 2 seasons, have not had the weapons that that other elite quarterbacks have. Let's go over the list because someone posted this on Twitter. They posted a list of receivers that Cam Newton has played with. We have Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn is talented, so, you know. Brenton Burson, Legadou Nene, Kalen Clay, who I think is playing in the Canadian Football League, or played in the AAF, if I'm not mistaken. But Mose Frazier, Brandon LaFell, Devin Funches. Devin Funches actually has talent, but he ended up leaving the team. Kelvin Benjamin, which became a disaster. Once he got hurt, he was just never the same. Russell Shepard. And as soon as he left, they ended up signing Robbie Anderson, which was actually a pretty good receiver from the Jets. Cam pretty much, he did not have all of the weapons that others would have, but that's just happened. When you have a smaller market team like Carolina, they were always going to be a little thrifty, when it came to those particular things, because they always drafted very well, but they were never really able to draft very good receivers. I think one organization that has been very good at drafting wide receivers is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers have always been very good at drafting wide receivers. That's why they can let all these different wide receivers go, and they always are able to draft very good wide receivers each year when they need to. And also one also important factor is Cam Newton's health. There are people who think he's done. There are people who think his skills have eroded. I think ownership believe that his skills have eroded, and they don't believe he's the same. They don't think he can lead them. They want to move on, even though the guy is barely into his 30s. You got Tom Brady, who's in his early 40s. He wants to play till he's 45. Now, he hasn't had the same injury problems, but again, that happens. That when you have a stable organization and you have winning, you're able to keep certain things in place. It's also very telling too about Cam Newton's skill set is that Ron Rivera doesn't see bringing in Cam Newton to the Redskins. Maybe because they already have a guy that was drafted very high last year. So I could see that. But again, Ron Rivera has never been an offensive guy, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I think Cam Newton should definitely get an opportunity to start somewhere. The Patriots don't really have anybody right now that I can see as a clear-cut number one. The Chargers don't either. But the Chargers don't even have a fan base, I just will never understand why they went to Los Angeles. They should have did a U-turn and went to St. Louis, who's desperate for an NFL team. But, they want to be big time, but they never will. But they will always be in the shadow of the rounds. But this is about Cam. I think Cam Newton needs to get healthy. It looks like he is. He's putting out workout videos, and I'm happy for him, because I think he's genuinely a good guy. But there's also another factor as well. That plays into Cam Newton and his demise with the Panthers. I truly believe off the field, his relationship with his longtime girlfriend did not end very well. And there's a bit of a situation there. I truly believe this. He got a particular female pregnant and had a kid with her, and I think that's who he's with. He's cohabitating with right now, and I think that breakup from his ex-girlfriend, his longtime girlfriend, I mean, she was with him right when he started in the NFL. They have a couple of kids together, a lot of them. I think that weighed on him as well. It's almost like he had the weight of two worlds on his shoulder. His professional life and his personal life. And you can tell he just was never the same. After the Super Bowl, he was never the same. He was injured up, and I truly believe he also had issues with his ex-girlfriend baby's mother. If Cam Newton can get himself together, if Cam Newton can really focus on getting healthy and getting into the right situation, I think that the sky is the limit as far as him being able to rebound. He's a quarterback. Quarterbacks can always make a rebound. You know, you put them in the right situation. You know, it's not like a running back like Todd Gurley, you know, a guy who at age 25 already has, you know, knees that are pretty much about to give out on him. if they haven't already. The Rams gave up on him. I think that the Panthers see him on the downside of his career. This is why they went and gave Teddy Bridgewater the money that they gave him, and that's good for Teddy Bridgewater. They signed P.J. Walker because they wanted to solidify the quarterback situation so they can go and not look back. I think they should have let Cam Newton go earlier. If you didn't want the guy, let him go. Okay, but I think that they were being a little selfish because they probably had competitors like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who could have signed Cam Newton. And they were looking east and west, and they said, oh, they're signing Tom Brady. Well, let's go ahead and let him go now. So I will always believe that the Panthers were waiting to see what Tampa Bay was going to do. Even though there was talk that Tom Brady was going to go there, Cam Newton could still go there as a backup, you know, or he could have been an extra option, you know. But I still think Cam is going to have suitors, but because of the climate and what's going on in the world, he may not be able to get a job until the summer, you know. The Chargers look like they're being cheap. They're going with Tyrod Taylor. I don't even think they care about winning next season, which is unfortunate for their coach. But I think Cam does deserve another opportunity because he's been a starter his whole career. He's never been a backup. He's never had to compete for a starting job. He's had injury problems. He's had organization problems. He's had private life problems. And I am very hopeful that he's able to put that behind him and move in the right direction.